All right, you're still watching Ways now. National Weed Appreciation Day on March 28th. Each year reminds us that some weeds are beneficial to us and our ecosystem. Humans have used weeds for food and as herbs for much of recorded history. Some are edible and nutritious, while other weeds have medicinal value. Do you remember a small child, or rather as a small child, the fun you had with dandelions? Now, well, these bright yellow flowers serve a purpose. Dandelions are a food source of for insect and some birds. Human eats young dandelions leaves and enjoy tea and wine made from the leaf and flowers. The Native Americans used dandelions to treat specific ailments. Nutritionally, dandelions contain a source of vitamin A, C, calcium, iron, and fiber. Now, before using any weed as a food source, make sure it is correctly identified and free of herbicides and pesticides. Research the safe and edible part of each weed and find useful cooking and preparation tips. All right, so
which weed are we talking about?
It's a weed is something. You know, the truth is, I actually had a doctor. And, you know, it was when I was reading this, I just remember that he was supposed to come on Ways. He actually, there's a medical patch, weed patch. So it's very good for people that have very bad migraines.
Pain. Yeah.
Yes. Then, what's it called? Menstrual pain and all of that. So they actually administer that patch for people that have extreme pain.
Yeah.
It is highly effective, you know. So weed is very, very good. It's just that, you know,
God gave us the plant.
Don't smoke it. There are different species. That's why
we're talking about the same.
Yes, there are different species. So you have to actually research.
In primary school, you define weed as well as unwanted plants.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying.
Dandelion.
Marijuana.
This one, marijuana.
Oh, it's marijuana you're talking about?
Now, dandelion, they call them. Oh, yeah. Let us move to our story.
Okay.
Drum roll. Let me start with Manny, because your own. Which one is more recent? Okay. Let's start with Elsie.
Yeah.
I think we should pull out Elsie's video. Right?
Yeah, please pull out my video. I mean, yeah, let's just see the video.
Yes. If you have the video, please play for us to watch.
So anyway, woke up this morning to slaps.
And there was a slap.
And there was a slap. And there was another slap.
There was another slap.
Slap. Like
there was yet another slap.
I think this is the year of slaps. If you do anything,
I think so.
Look on this show. If you I think this, so. I'm saying you should not say it. Just like me and like this.
Elsie.
So Chris Rock made a joke.
Oh my God.
And for those that are too sensitive, they say that the joke is about alopecia, or it's not about alopecia. That is about
mental health,
the health of Will Smith's wife, and that's the slang he used, which is something like G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
it is not a new slang, right?
Well,
and it also relates to a certain movie that she has starred in, where some people are expecting, you know, the kind of movie that you have watched for a long time, but you still sort of feel like there should be a part 2, right? And there's every possibility that that's where he's even coming from with the joke, right? But because some people already know that she has alopecia, which of course I'm hearing for the first time, they feel like, oh, that's just too insensitive. Why would we be making a joke about her health, right? But the bottom line of this conversation is that Uncle Will Smith got up on national TV, walked straight to Chris Rock and gave him
a dirty slap.
I think we need to watch this video.
Yeah, they played the video.
Please, hey,
that's the video playing. And actually played from the beginning.
The annoying part for me is the crying he came to cry on stage. I like whatever it is, I don't think violence is ever the answer. I know some people are trying to defend him in terms of saying, oh, he went too far, he's trying to defend the love of his life, blah, 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 blah. But if you watch that video carefully, Will Smith laughed before maybe he saw Jada's face and realized that the joke is not supposed to be funny.
He's a good husband, please.
And then he went to slap. And of course, others are asking.
In a punch here. What is slap? You know what?
No, it was a slap.
Let's watch it. Yeah, let's watch it.
I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked out of me. my wife's name out your mouth. Wow, dude. Yes. It was a G.I. Jane joke. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. I'm going to, okay?
I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees. Love will make you do things. Being able to love and care for my mother and my family, my wife. I'm taking up too much time. Thank you for this honor. Thank you for this moment, and thank you on behalf of...
Did you hear when Chris had to repeat it?
That it was a joke.
And he mentioned the type of joke, which I'm saying, it is not a new joke.
Elsie, let's look at it. You know, I like to do a 360 on everything. Let's look at it from another angle. You can't just look at it from one perspective. There's a background story to this.
Okay.
His wife, something had happened some years ago, and everybody had been, you know, telling different jokes. I don't even want to talk about it.
Is it the one about the entanglement?
Entanglement.
What is Chris' business inside?
No, because, you see, it's just the sensitivity of the whole story surrounding his wife. So this was just another lame joke to him, like, you guys keep my wife's name out of your mouth. I'm not even interested in this joke. And then we also hear that Jada has mental health issues, and you know, in the US
I have mental health
issues.
No,
don't say that. We can't turn away from this thing.
No, because this is what happens now. Whenever we want to talk about anything, mental health issue will just come. So all of us will just shut up.
I do not subscribe to violence.
We cannot have conversation anymore without mental health issue. I agree that the mental health issue is a big deal. I mean, I'm one of the champions and advocacy of having great mental health. But what Will Smith did here, he cannot excuse it with love. Because that's the same way a man can also excuse the fact that he's beating his wife at home because of love. I'm trying to tame her. I love her so much. She shouldn't do this. And it is out of that love that I'm now being violent. Whether it's a man or a woman, you do not have the right to be that violent. I mean, he had the opportunity to speak. He's Will Smith.
He should have screamed the way he screamed.
Yes, he should have screamed. Yeah.
Not even scream. He walked there, right? Why not just speak, collect the mic or whatever, and say something? Just make your speech. Why did you have to go that far? If it was Dave Chappelle, would he have done that?
Well,
but on the flip side, they say that Will Smith was a fantastic actor. That somebody would just laugh, he moved to slap, from slap, he moved to cry. That's why he has the Oscar.
The Academy now put out a tweet saying that they do not condone violence.
But they have not said whether they are withdrawing his...
I think they already condone violence because there are people who would do that. There are some events that you do that. The fact that you are the one who assaulted someone, you'll be walked out of that event.
Yes.
Nobody walked him out. Immediately he was called up to take his award. Nothing was addressed until there was an uproar. And then you put out a tweet to say you do not condone violence. Please, how else do people condone violence if that's not you condoning violence?
Because he should not have been given that award again.
Even if you got the award, you got 5 minutes to cry and speak. Please, let's move on to our next one.
Elsie, be calming down.
There's another crying. And yes, there was another cry. And this cry lasted for 40 days and 40
nights. Until the whip nuts.
Today is interesting.
So I cried every day for 3 months. Had therapy to survive NYSC certificate saga. Former Minister Kemi Adeosun. So a former Minister of Finance, Mrs. Kemi Adeosun, has come out to reveal how she was able to forge ahead after the NYSC certificate saga. Adeosun said she wept every day without working for 3 months. According to her, everything about her life was at a standstill while she had to deal with shame, betrayal, disappointment, and humiliation. So Adeosun explained that period of life was tough for me. I went to step into the shoes of someone like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. So I was under fire from day one, and it looked like things were not working. So Adeosun said that it was sad that she was unable to tell her side of the story and had to resign when she could no longer bear it. So the grounds upon which Mrs. Kemi Adeosun, the former Minister of Finance, resigned from the office has long since raised opinions on the legal implications of her actions, the state of affairs surrounding politics in Nigeria, and honestly questions the rules guiding ministerial appointments in Nigeria. So, ladies, what do you think about the crying? What do you think about the forged certificates? And what do you think about her coming out now?
So I took like 15 minutes here to watch that 34 minutes interview. And all I'm hearing is a person who doesn't want to take responsibility for her actions or her inactions, as the case may be. I'm not going to be sensitive to say, yes, she didn't go through. I mean, it can be traumatic because if at that age you're going through that kind of saga and you're someone who has tried to build a life of honesty, it could be a lot to handle. But when she's telling the story, she still refuses to understand the fact that she did not do her due diligence as a person. She speaks about Nigeria like some dismissive role that just came into her path. So I don't even think that a person who is not even passionate about a country like Nigeria should even be the minister for finance. So when you listen to her, first, like I said, she doesn't understand her role in all this, and she's not taking responsibility. She's either blaming everybody around her or blaming God, of course, and telling us how the Bible fell on the floor and she saw whip nuts and, you know, things like that. But I think she needs to begin to take responsibility. Anybody can be found in that situation, but she needs to take responsibility because she's not a child. She's not a child.
And I was going to say that, I was just going to say with Kemi Adeosun, everybody understands the rules of engagement when it comes to NYSC. So if you were given a certificate, because she mentioned something about an exemption certificate, it was not an exemption certificate that was given to you. Of the exemption. They gave you a discharge certificate, right?
She even said they went to get it.
Do you understand? They went to get it. You said you sat with your lawyers and your lawyers blah blah blah. My point is, Auntie, you have goofed. And just say it and admit it that I have goofed. I am sorry. Then we move on.
Just based on ignorance, you know.
Why would you base it on ignorance or base it on the fact that you were ill advised or something? It makes no sense.
We can't even really move on. Because the general rule of law is that ignorance is not an excuse.
Yes, in the legal,
you have committed
a crime.
And you must do the time. So I think crying on TV, crying on TV, talking about how God has saved her and telling her not to weep anymore, I think it just doesn't cut it. We're talking about the position of the Minister of Finance here in Nigeria. This is no small position. Even when we try to hire staff in the office, we do all the checks. We have a checklist. So this INEC also has a responsibility here. Yes, because
she was first commissioner on that same certificate before they were moved.
Forged certificate. I think even trying to resurface right now is even a bad idea because
it's 2023 now.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost time for elections, and all of a sudden she resurfaces again.
Oh my God, we've lost a lot of time. But this is actually quite interesting.
Yeah,
So I saw this story and I found it interesting. Tech cabal is just giving buzzballs all the time.
Everywhere.
Microsoft accused of taking over 200 million annually in bribes in Africa. This was a very interesting story, caught my attention. So let me just summarize it in a nutshell because we've run out of the time. They said most of so for instance, like the government will pay for some certain kinds of softwares that nobody ever sees where the software is and all of that. And it runs in millions of dollars. Wow. So the whistleblower is an ex-director of emerging markets, Yesar Aldab. He's the one that's alleging that Microsoft has taken over 200 million bribe. And this is not just in Africa. There is Saudi Arabia, there's Qatar, and there's Saudi Arabia, there's Qatar. So the African countries named here is Ghana, Nigeria, and Zimbabwe. Wow. So I think this would be worth having a look at because for a big company like Microsoft, for instance, he claimed, let me say the one that concerned us. In Nigeria, he claimed that the Senate of Nigerian Parliament complained that Nigeria had paid about $5.5 million for Microsoft's license that were nowhere to be found.
Wow.
That is crazy, So in Cameroon also, they also paid something for a 3-year office academy subscription that disappeared. It's just so many allegations, and I would wish for
a response. Right?
Yes, for a response from Microsoft.
This is really a bad PR right now because I remember sometime, I think it was towards the end of last year, where we were having interviews with a few people who were doing some good work, NGO and stuff. I think even the lady we interviewed that works with, is it Joberman now?
Yes.
And they were talking about the things they do with Microsoft. Yeah. And I remember saying that Microsoft has been involved in a lot of what's it called now? A lot of
community development and all that. We just even mentioned it last week Wednesday.
Now is worrisome, and I hope they can
They can resolve
really
it.
It.
All right, so, I wish we could continue all these basketballs.
We'll make a day for basketballs.
I'm telling you. All right, so when we return from the break, we want to discuss Nigerian youth and what's it called, setting aside politics to focus on governance. Stay with us. We'll be right back.